Find something that you can do for them. Think about it from their perspective. What can you do that will benefit your potential trainer?
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out in the podcast chair. I want to answer probably the foremost question that I get from wannabe appraisers out there. The question being, how, Dustin, do I find a mentor? I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored by 3 great companies. By the way, I'm going to answer that question. I shouldn't just leave you hanging. I promise to answer that question. In fact, I promise to almost guarantee that you can find a mentor. I want to pause here and remind you that we're sponsored by Alamode Software. Alamode, of course, is the software that I have been using for over 2 decades. They have been in business for almost 40 years, helping appraisers to do more with their wonderful tools. Check them out. Go to alamode.com, alamode.com. And of course, we're sponsored by Working RE Magazine. Working RE, of course, is a great source. One of the best sources of information on this industry out there, if not the foremost. Check them out. Go to workingre.com. Working RE is in workingrealestate.com. And of course, we are sponsored by DataMaster, saving appraisers time. When you save appraisers time, you save appraisers money. How about 30 minutes per report? What does that equal in dollars? Well, if you knew how much you were being paid per hour, it could be quite a bit. Check them out. Go to datamasterusa.com. Again, datamasterusa.com. Well, folks, again, one of the foremost questions I get, and I get it on my All-Star Group page in Facebook. I get it speaking of Facebook, through the Messenger. I get it through email. I get it from a variety of different sources. Dustin, I want to be an appraiser, but I can't find anybody to train me. How do I find? So I've reached out to everybody in my market. I've called them all. I've stopped in. I've done this, and they just feel saddened and defeated. Right? They want to become an appraiser. And folks, rightfully so. This is a wonderful, wonderful career. And I know some of you are down on the appraisal industry. I'm not. I love it. I love what I do. I love the opportunity to go out and visit homes. And I love the idea of figuring out what the market says about value. And most of all, I love the freedom that this career affords me. It is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. I would not discourage. I know a lot of appraisers out there. Well, if my son or daughter came to me and said, Dad, should I be an appraiser? I would discourage them. Folks, that's not me at all. Now, I'm not one that's going to push my kids in any one direction, and I really honestly doubt that any of my children will become appraisers. They just don't have interest in that like I did. But nonetheless, I would not discourage it at all. This is a wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, does it have its issues? Does it have its problems? Of course. Right? The appraisal industry has undergone a great many challenges in the last few years. Increased education, training hours. It's simply, folks, there are obstacles in the way of people becoming an appraiser. And one of the biggest challenges is in mentorship. Now, I know there's a new path to getting your license. I know about Perea, however you say it. But folks, as far as I know, as of this recording right now, right, and I'm recording this in 2021, not one state that I know of has adopted that as an alternative, right? It's been put out there, it's been suggested, but until your state welcomes that, if you will, and legally says that's a path to become an appraiser, it's not going to happen. So we run into this challenge that there's individuals out there that want to become appraisers, but they really, in the state that they exist in, the only way to do so is to find a mentor, is to find a teacher, is to find an appraiser who is willing to take on your training, is willing to have you tag along, to do inspections, to show you over their shoulder how to do an appraisal report, and then look over your shoulder while you do theirs and take on the extra liability and the time and the space. And folks, I'm not trying to discourage mentors out there. Those of you who want to be an appraiser are saying, Dustin, shut up. Don't tell them all the reasons they shouldn't. Folks, I've trained multiple people, over 10 people I've trained to be appraisers, and I will do it again. I first of all, I love teaching, but second of all, I don't see it like a lot of people see it. Many appraisers think that they're training their competition. Folks, I don't see it that way at all. You make life good enough for the individuals that you train. You set up a compensation program that will allow them to make very good money, working hard, yes, but also having freedom to be themselves. And I'm telling you, there's no reason for them to look over their shoulder at something else. Now, again, I know there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, but I guess I'm a half full, half glass, glass, how do you say, glass half full kind of guy, right? I'm constantly looking on, in fact, some people say I'm too optimistic, right? I'm always looking for the brighter side. And because I look on the brighter side, I want to share with you some ideas. Okay, I want to share with you some ideas that can help you if you are looking to find a mentor. And I'm going to do so as soon as we get back from the break. I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored by 3 great companies. I mentioned them earlier in the program, but I want to talk about each of them just briefly. First of all, Working RE Magazine. Folks, on a regular basis, I get the Working RE Magazine blog post to my email. It's this simple. Go to www.workingre.com and type in your email address, and you will get that free article on a regular basis as well. Folks, if you want to keep up on what's going on in the appraisal world, including changes that are coming with regard to mentorship and becoming a trainee and becoming an appraiser eventually, you want to check out Working RE, and you want to be on their list. WorkingRE.com, WorkingRE.com. DataMaster, saving appraisers time. Folks, I've timed it. I've actually sat down and on a regular basis, I'm talking 2, 3, 4 times, timed out how much time it takes me to enter the stuff that DataMaster puts in automatically within seconds. It's about 30 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes on a regular basis is what we save by using DataMaster. I want you to now take a calculation. How much do you make per hour? What could 30 minutes per report mean to you in retained revenue? I'm telling you, folks, the ROI on that is huge. It's datamasterusa.com, datamasterusa.com. Finally, a la mode software, there's nothing better. I mean, it is amazing. I've been using it for over 20 years. The idea that you can do more with less is a no-brainer when it comes to a la mode. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, they're probably the most expensive software out there. You get what you pay for, folks. This company is amazing. You cannot ignore that they are the leader in the industry. They are worth every penny because of the great tools that they bring to the table. Alamode.com. It's ALAMODE.com. All right, folks, welcome back. We're talking today specifically to those of you who want to become an appraiser and you are struggling. You're struggling with this idea of wanting to become an appraiser, but it's hard. First of all, the challenge when it comes to education is difficult. The challenge when it comes to getting your hours and logging those hours and making sure that you're learning everything that you're supposed to do is difficult. But I'll tell you, the biggest challenge that most of my wannabe appraiser friends out there run into is the mentorship idea. And yes, there are other paths to license out there. At least they're being floated out there. But as of this recording, I don't know any state that has adopted them, which means, guess what, folks? You got to find a mentor. You got to find somebody who is willing to hire you, bring you on, teach you the ropes, and hopefully it'll be a long-term relationship for you. But many of them don't look at it that way. They don't look at it the way I do. They're looking at it to, hopefully get a little bit back in the training process, but a bit of giving back, if you will, bringing on. But I'm telling you, it's challenging. It's difficult. So I want to offer a few words of advice for you aspiring appraisers. First of all, do not ever let anyone tell you that you cannot do this or that you should not do this. Okay, I have heard it all from everywhere. We talked about it earlier in the program. There are many, many appraisers who are very down on the industry. And I could go on a whole podcast. In fact, I've had several podcasts on this topic. There is a reason for that. Folks, there is a way to get over that. There's a way to do things different than you've always done them and to get out of this doldrum, if you will, of AMCs and lenders and revision requests and scope creep and low fees and quick turn times and biddings and all of this, right? I understand the challenges out there. I truly do. But they don't have to be a challenge. There are different ways of doing things. So, folks, if you want to be an appraiser, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you pursue it. Now, second step, I want you to study the industry. Decide if this is something you really want. Again, I need you to block out the negative voices out there, the negative Nellies telling you that you can't. This is different than that, right? This is not digging your feet in and saying, by golly, I'm going to do it anyway. You need to decide if you truly want to do it, okay? Again, there's a lot of appraisers out there that say you should take a different career choice. Don't listen to what they have to say. Make your own conclusions. Come up with your own ideas. And if it's something that you want to do, well, step number 3, map out your achievement process. What is your vision? What are you going to do to get there? Be as detailed in this as possible. What you will do, when you will do it, how you will accomplish, even the smaller goals that will lead to the ultimate prize, and that, of course, being your appraisal license. Please don't do what everybody else is doing and simply say, that'd be nice, maybe I should become an appraiser, and then all of a sudden they start moving in that path. Take some time to really figure things out, okay? Step number 4, consider taking a non-traditional route to your goal. Folks, human beings often look at everything like a box, right? They look at that box from the inside. If you cannot seem to find a mentor to help you achieve your goals, it's time, ready for this, to step outside your proverbial box. Let me give you a few ideas, okay? First of all, does your state allow reading appraisal reports to count toward your hours? That might be something to think about. What about working in the county assessor's office? Some licenses out there will count that toward your licensing, will count that toward your experience hours. Can you hire your services out virtually, right? If you can't find somebody local to help you, what about working over state lines? Dustin, you can do that? Yeah, you can do that. Okay. Again, think outside the box. That way you're not worried about them thinking you're going to become their competition, and yet you can still give back to them. And finally, most importantly, folks, this is the biggest step. Step number 5, stop looking at your own desires in isolation of the other desires. Here's what I find happens a large majority of the time. Dustin, I've called every appraiser in my area and none of them want to train me. Well, duh. I mean, why would they? What's in it for them? This is the biggest issue, in my opinion, with people not being able to find a mentor, because they do this, some version of this. They go to whatever directory they can find, whether that be Google, whether that be state licenses that they get from their state board, whether that be the national appraisal directory, whatever, and they find a number of appraisers, rather. And instead of approaching it the way that they should, which I will get to that in just a moment, they approach them this way. Hi, my name's Jane. I want to be an appraiser. Are you looking to train somebody? No? Oh, okay, I'll call the next one on the list. Or they might even go so far as to dress up in a nice skirt or a shirt and tie and actually go into the appraisal office and knock on the door. Now, a lot of appraisers work from home, so this doesn't work always. But they go to the appraiser and they say, hi, my name's Jane. I really want to be an appraiser. I'm hoping that you'll be willing to train me. Folks, think about that for just a second. I want you to switch places for just a moment. I want you to sit on the other side of the table, and I want you to imagine that you are an established 25-year vet in this industry, and somebody comes to you and says, hi, I'm Jane. I want to be an appraiser. Will you train me? Why in the world would they do that? Again, I ask, why in the world would they do that? Hi, I want to be an appraiser. Would you consider training me? There is nothing in those statements for them at all. It's all about you. It's selfish. That statement is selfish. Hi, I want something. Will you help me get it? Folks, here is the best advice that I can give you when it comes to trying to find a mentor. Find something that you can do for them. Think about it from their perspective. What can you do that will benefit your potential trainer? Approach it from a totally different perspective. Hi, my name is Jane. I'm willing to work for free. I'm willing to give you service in exchange for you training me. That might be one approach. Hi, my name is John. I have all kinds of social media background. I've been trained in marketing. I would love to be able to help you to grow your business. Oh, no, don't worry about it. You don't need to pay me. I would love to become an appraiser, though. Would you consider trading marketing for time? Hi, I'm Larry. I would love to be an appraiser. Now, listen. Let me finish, okay? I'm not asking you to train me for free. What I'm telling you is I will not become your competition. I want to work for you exclusively, and I want to make it worth your while. I understand what you have to go through in order to be a trainer. I'm willing to give you my time, my energy, my resources, and I'm willing to be on as long as you want me. Folks, I'm telling you there is a different approach to be had. What about just an agreement that you're going to give back 3 years of service in the business that you've received the license in payment for their 3 years that they put in to helping you to get there? What about willing to sign a non-compete clause right up front, right in the beginning? Don't let them come to you with that. You come to them in that. In other words, start the conversation with what you're going to give them. Assuage their fears up front. Folks, I can tell you from a trainer perspective, there are fears involved. Why should I spend time with this person? What if this person becomes my competition? Okay, what is this person going to do for me? If you can answer those questions before you even ask the big $64,000 question, no pun intended, as to will you train me, right? Don't even get to that. Don't even talk about them training. Go to them and indicate what you can do for them, right? In other words, you need to put yourself in their shoes, provide for them an offer that they cannot refuse. I guarantee it will change the way that you do business. By the way, if you want more information about how to approach your training, in fact, I have a whole course on training, have a whole course on being a trainee, have a whole course on the things that you can give to your mentor. And folks, I'm telling you, I will almost guarantee you go through this course. If you're struggling to find a mentor, if you are struggling to find somebody who is willing to train you, I can almost guarantee that taking this workshop, How to Become a Real Estate Appraiser, will change all of that for you. It's in my product section on theappraisercoach.com. Again, it's How to Become a Real Estate Appraiser. Folks, it's about them, not you. Approach it from that perspective. It will change everything.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.